There we go. Got it. Hello. I had forgotten to unmute myself. How's it going, everybody? It's just me today, as far as I know, and I have zero plans as for what exactly we're going to do. I have no idea. Also, the title is entirely just to garner pity in the hopes that more people will show up, because it's all about the views. I'm greedy. First off, weird thing that just occurred. The reason that I went live and then it took a little while for me to say anything in the chat, I've never had this happen before. Thank you for the birthday sub, Maz. TNE Network, you can thank Maz for that one. So I started streaming. I saw the message that was like, hello, and I went to respond hello. But apparently it didn't recognize who was... It allowed me to stream, but it required me to log into the Twitch account again to chat, which seems rather backwards, in my opinion. I've never had it do that before, and I don't know why. I would also like to bring up once again that it is incredibly strange and incredibly inconvenient that Twitch does not have anything that I know of in place to allow more than one person to be logged into a Twitch account. I would think that would be a thing that would exist, but apparently it doesn't. You can only have one person. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do today. I had the chance to plan things. I didn't. So if you guys have any suggestions of what you want to see or what you want to do, feel free to shout them out. I'm down to do... Exactly, Maz. I'm down to do stuff if you want to talk. It's hard for me to go over the previous stream that we had, just so you know. We are doing a mini-series. Lydia, who is currently in the chat, because Lydia's sick, so she can't be, like, on stream. Hello, Novalite. Thanks for the subscription. I'm down to do characters based off of songs again. But I have obligatory things that I need to say first. First of all, on Mondays, this June, we're doing a cool mini-series that Lydia is DMing for us. It's awesome. It's called Camp Cryptid. It's super cool. I'm in it. The rest of the cast is in it. We play Cryptid Kids, or Crypt Kids, as I like to call them. They're super cool. And it's a super fun game. It's shorter sessions. It's normally 2 to 3 hours at most. They're awesome. Stop in on Mondays at 7 p.m. CST. That's when we're streaming them. They're pre-recorded because DJ is currently on a trip doing mountaineering stuff. Other than that, we have social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. If you want a cool, funny moment compilation stuff, you can do that. If you go to our TikTok, it's like the best thing. Yo, hype train from thanks Marshall. That bit donation and the subs and the stuff. This is a weird time for a bit train. No one is here. Ooh, 69%. Take a picture. Let's see. What else are we? Oh yeah. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We have a Discord. If you're not on the Discord, what are you doing? I just finished standard ending Hollow Knight last night. So. Oh, sweet. Novalite, it's good to see that you saw us on TikTok. Also, if you are new, we love knowing where you come from. We get a lot of people from TikTok. Lydia is the one who makes all of those. So if you want to talk up Lydia, you can do that because Lydia is rad. Yeah. So Skyrus, yeah, I finished a Hollow Knight on the Discord last night. I'm looking for a new game to start, but I wasn't really feeling anything. I started one. I'm probably going to return it, though, because I wasn't a huge fan of it. The controls just aren't my thing. We also have, and this especially for Nova, if you want to catch up, all of our stuff is over on our YouTube. We have, as far as I know, a majority of the content that we have created is on YouTube. We are currently on a break, so we are going to pick back up after a time skip, so this is a great time to catch up. Or if you just want to get closer to being like in the know, start on either episode 50 or episode 62. Those are kind of good catch-up areas. We also have a website. If you want to buy merch that has our logo and stuff on it, you can do that. Lydia also has a website where she sells like merch with her art and stuff. She also does all of our art, overlays, everything. So anything that creates any artistic capability, Lydia did it. Man, Maz, what did you send in the Discord? If you want to see what Maz sent in the Discord, you better be in it. I've got it. Hold on. Nice. Thanks, Maz. Awesome. That's good to know, Nova. We also love talking to people who are like starting, especially if you're starting from the beginning and you're taking that slog. Having conversations with people who are in those early episodes is rad. Because, man, do we have our own opinions about them. It's kind of like when your mom tries to show someone a like video of you when you were in middle school, and you're like, Mom, no, please don't. And it's like, you thought it was really cool at the start, like when you were doing it, and now that you look back, it's just absolute cringe. Ooh, so good to hear. Deforestation. But yeah. Thank you for watching the YouTube. It's super awesome to hear. We also have a podcast. If you don't want to, if you don't have the energy or ability to watch it, you can always just listen to it. I actually met a podcast listener, like where I live, that's like, yeah, we pretty much just watch the podcast and stuff. And I was like, wow, you are one of the silent few. It's really hard for us to keep track of how many people actually pay attention to our to our podcast, because we can see downloads, but we can't see total watches and stuff. So like if anyone's from the podcast, please tell us, because that lets us know that people are actually there. I should have going to brag and show off. This is a notebook that I got from Lydia's store. She doesn't sell notebooks anymore, so one of a kind. I believe I have. So, for those who are interested, because I'm pretty sure I think that's all the plugs that I have. I don't think I probably missed something, but those are all of the plugs that I can remember. We have, first of all, I have some song suggestions from the last time we did this. For those of you who weren't here for the last time, I'm going to rearrange my desk a little bit, so that way I can set this up here. I have a thing that I do often, kind of as just a fun, not experiment, but a fun just kind of practice thing to do, which is I'll find songs and take the lyrics and then make a character out of them. Some of the examples of characters that we've made before, we've made one for, did we actually make one for Cotton Eye Joe? I can't remember. But we made one for Devil Went Down to Georgia, Underworld by Vamps, Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. That was Lydia's recommendation. Also, Skyrose, yes, please pay your rent. Rent is important. It's good. Wonderwall is... Okay, Wonderwall is certainly an option. I can write that down for sure. Lydia, what's your very important question? Oh gosh. What's going on the list? Yes, I keep a list. Did I listen to the song yet? Which song? The answer's maybe. I'm really bad, Lydia. I'm a bad person. I know that you told me to listen to a song. Track song. No, I haven't. I still haven't. Send it to me over text. Look, it gets lost. It gets lost in the list of things that happen, and I don't know an easy way to keep track of it. Alright? That's the problem. I'm sorry. Also, Marshall, I still have Flamingo by Kiro on here as well. I know that I literally play video games for hours. I need to listen to the audio from the video game to time my attacks. It's very technical. That's how I play a lot of games. So I don't listen to music while I play video games unless they are like incredibly mindless. Alright, so don't judge me. I need like a clamp for the book. Well, let's go over what are the things that I have remaining. If I remember the last time that we made characters, the last song that was recommended. Well, Lydia, if you send me it over text. If it's over text, I see it and it doesn't go away. If it's over Discord, you know how many people talk in our Discord? A whole bunch, and you could be one of them. And so then it's there, and then people are like, oh my god, I love this. This is so great. I love it so much. Wow, this is incredible. And then suddenly, everyone's listened to it except for me, and so then they keep talking, and it just goes farther and farther up. So I have to scroll for like 20 minutes to find it. I don't even remember that it's there. Alright, so... I'm sorry. But like, it's hard. Exactly. Y'all talk about Wonderwall makes it incredibly difficult. Then the only song that I think that you're talking about is Wonderwall, and that's not easy. So, song characters. Also, thank you, Novelite. It is really awesome to hear. I hope you get incredibly attached to both of them. Also, fair warning, there are often spoilers that are said on Table Scraps. Table Scraps is kind of the out-of-character thing that we just like talking. It's a lot more of who we are as actual people rather than characters that we play. Oh my god, so funny thing, I've already made a character, like personally. Pinball Wizard is a song that I have already made a character out of. I love Pinball Wizard, but I believe that's The Who, right? I can never remember past the first verse. Do all you know the song Pinball Wizard? This is a thing that's very important for me to know, because I thought that kind of everyone knew the song. Because, like, it isn't just The Who, it's also, oh, the guy who sang... Elton John. Elton John sang Pinball Wizard. He sang a cover of it. I will accept this, Maz. Okay, so, Lydia. Also, how dare you? Now I know that at least one person in the chat doesn't know it. So I'm just gonna read the lyrics to you, because I've already made a character for this personally. But the real trick is, the Pinball Wizard is an incredibly good song. It's actually one of the first songs that I was like, I could make a Dungeons & Dragons character off of this incredibly easily. Main reason being, it's just describing a person and it includes the word wizard. Alright? So it's the perspective of someone who has seen the Pinball Wizard. That's a very important clarification. The song goes, ever since I was a young boy, I played the silver ball. From Soho down to Brighton, I must have played 'em all. But I never seen nothing like him in any amusement hall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. It goes real high up there. I don't have the vocals for that. And it keeps going on, talking about this person who just, this kid who is deaf, dumb, and blind who just plays pinball really well. He stands just like a statue, becomes part of the machine. Feeling all the bumpers, always playing clean. He plays by intuition, the digit counters fall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. It's great. He's a pinball wizard, there's gotta be a twist. He's a pinball wizard, got such a supple wrist. It's great. It's an incredible song. But it's pretty simple, all right? So you gotta what are the I'm now on this. What are the descriptive words that we have here? All right? First of all, young. Ever since I was a young boy, I played the silver ball. The description of the character that we are making, assuming that it is the pinball wizard, is a blind kid who is also deaf and dumb. Now, as a wizard, if we want to make this a viable character, we're going to assume that dumb refers to wisdom. Also, thank you, Novolite. I've done choir for a very long time, although my vocal agility has dropped drastically. So we're going to assume that dumb refers to wisdom, because as a wizard, we are going to prioritize intelligence. That's what we're going to do. Now, in order to cover deaf and blind, we can do that. Like with your DM, if this is a character that you were playing, just by specifying, like, hey, I would like my character to be both deaf and blind. And then asking if there are ways that you can overcome this. Super easy to do. My personal favorite is that as a wizard, you gain access to the Find Familiar spell. With the Find Familiar spell, you gain a familiar that, if I'm remembering how I did this, let me double check. You can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn as an action. So, if you just have a familiar with you, I would, as a DM, rule that you could just be allowed to see through your familiar's eyes without using an action. That's just how you've learned to see and hear. Now, if your DM isn't super accepting to that, you can take a bit of a dip into Warlock to gain Pact of the Chain. Pact of the Chain gives you a very, very clear option that just allows you to, for sure, see and hear through your familiar senses. Gosh dang, we may or may not have a character in the campaign who does that quite a bit. And if you go that little dip into Warlock to gain that familiar, you can also get one that makes itself invisible. So it would look to everyone else that you are a deaf, dumb, and blind kid who is somehow magically playing a pinball machine. Now, what do you mean by pinball machine? Also, other thing to know, has to have good dexterity because they have very supple wrists. That's a very important thing. Also, in the next verse, plays by sense of smell. We can do that. I'm pretty sure that there's a couple of races out there that gain advantage on perception checks that deal with smell. I can't remember. I don't think it's Tabaxi. It might be Loxodon. But regardless, there's gotta be something out there. I'm sure there is. If there isn't, what are we doing? I think the Shifter race, maybe? Shifter race might. So yeah, take Shifter. Get yourself a familiar. That conquers your deaf, dumb, and blind situation. Low wisdom, high dex, high intelligence. And then the trick, here's the real trick. When you take your spells as wizard, only take spells that are in a sphere. So we're going to take Fireball. We're going to take, Lava Orb or something like that. It can, Chromatic Orb. It can only be things that are spherical. That's the rule when it comes to building this wizard, is only spheres. And you can do it, barely. The hardest part is cantrips, right? Because there aren't a whole lot of cantrips. You can take Magic Stone, except I don't think that's a wizard cantrip, but if you can find a way. Handskate, you saw my pity me and my pity me title. It's good to see you. Or Hanskate? Henskate. But yeah, and that's pretty much it. Although I should say, you could also do something weird, and you are allowed to take, in my opinion, alter self, specifically to give yourself a swim speed, because if you don't understand what the lyrics say, yes, like a bag of ball bearings. Pretty sure you can just buy those. Like, those are things that you can buy in D&D that you can like throw into the ground, and it causes dexterity saves when people run over them. There's a line towards the very end. Even on my favorite table, he can beat my best. His disciples lead him in, and he just does the rest. He's got crazy flipper fingers, never seen him fall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. Flipper fingers, I would count that as alter self swim speed. I know that they aren't literal flipper fingers. They're meant to like the flippers of a pinball machine. But I don't care. Also, hello. It's good to see you. We're making D&D characters based off of songs. We just did Pinball Wizard. That one was really easy. I've already done that one before, so I'll go down the list now. I had previously sent a message towards the very end to Hansgate, because they had recommended, I believe, the song Fate Goes. I think that's the one. And I think that was the last one that I did. That one was very quick. Next up I have... Now the problem is I was a fool and didn't write down... Oh, nice to hear that you found us over TikTok. Lydia, who I believe is in the chat, is the one who does all of those, in case you didn't know. So feel free to send her love, because she is also kind of sick right now. Like, and by kind of sick, I mean she's not doing great. Woo, sickness. So I'm just going to go straight up to the next song that I have, because I don't believe the person who recommended Angel Wings is here, and so I don't know which artist sang it, which one they were actually looking for. So I'm going to go to one that I've actually given a lot of thought. Specifically, Flamingo. I remember, Marshall, you recommended this the last time that I did this. And now, it is difficult because I don't speak Japanese. So if we're just going to go off of the English lyrics, because I am not fluent in Japanese. Let me tell you, I can probably do it. It's a tough one. Because pretty much the majority of it is just the chorus is what I have available to. So let's see. How many shrimps do you have to eat before you make your skin turn pink? Eat too much and you'll get sick. Shrimps are pretty rich. It's that one, if you didn't know. Then we get to the chorus after Japanese. There's a Japanese period that I would have no idea, and I'm not willing to go to the effort to translate it. Nova, it was a blast having you here, by the way. See, Maz, you're on the right track already. All right, you're on the right track. Black, white, green, or blue. Show off your natural hue. Flamingo. Oh, 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 oh. It's that one. If you're multicolored, that's cool, too. You don't need to change. It's boring being the same. Flamingo. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. You're pretty either way. That's literally the whole song, because that just repeats. I'm sure that there's some kind of lyrics in the Japanese ones. I don't know. For all I know, it could also just be them repeating what they just said. So going off of that, I think Maz is on the right track for sure here. Druid is my instant, because you have to first of all look at the name of the song, Flamingo. Also, the cover of this song is a shrimp. Effect, you on the money. I'm glad I'm not the only one who like hears a song and then is like, I could make a character out of that. I could do it. Black, white, green, or blue. Show off your natural hue. Flamingo. If you're multicolored, that's cool too. Now we could go the route of being an Arkakra, but I feel like the real answer here lies in spells. I love the idea of the Fae Shrimp Swarm. That sounds hilarious to me. I'm going to do a quick search, because we have a lot to do with colors in this song. That's the majority of it. So if we just start off with the idea is Druid. And then go from there. Oof. That's dangerous. I don't know if Druid actually has any of the color spells. Let's see, Druid Staff, Magic Stone. Yeah, that's... Now hear me out. Does it have to be Druid? Because, let's say, for example, kind of a fake Druid capability is just the spell Polymorph. So let's take a look at other options that we have here. If we take the ability to, first of all, change color and the word flamingo, which are pretty much all that we're running off of here, is that there's a bunch of colors of the word flamingo and that a shrimp is on the screen. I assume that is the shrimp that you're eating before your skin turns pink. Eat too much and you'll get sick. Shrimps are pretty rich. I'll be honest, I'm not about to analyze what the lyrics of this song could possibly be inferring. Because I am lazy and I don't want to, if I'm just going to be 100% honest. Let's assume... Oh, we're going to struggle with this again. I really need to, like, create my own list of D&D subclasses for all of the classes. Because, man, is it frustrating trying to find just a list. Like, I don't want details about them. I'm fine if the name links me to them. But all I really want is to be able to see the names of them. Like, that's all I'm really looking for. Instead I have to scroll through like 70,000 like words. I think the easiest route, and I might need to double check here. First of all, is it in the table? Of course it's not in the table, Aaron. Why would you ever put the book that you use all the time directly next to you? Here we go. I'm thinking sorcerer as well, Skyros. I wish that there was a more like witchlight effect that I could do. Witch-like effect. Well, I was looking at your name and then said effect for some reason. But the closest thing we can get to like an alchemist, like that deals with potions and that kind of thing, is literally the alchemist subclass for Artificer, which is just not... First of all, the class itself, in my opinion, isn't great. And then it's also just not... It doesn't seem to fit. So you could go like a warlock route and just theme it as a witch. But once again, I don't know. This doesn't sound like a warlock song to me. There's a potential for it, for sure. Mainly, like, if it were, I would say that it is the Arcfey warlocked. But honestly, my first guess... Not my first guess, because it's taken several. If I am remembering correctly, and I have to read through a very large block of things, so give me a second. I may just be absolutely incorrect, but I was pretty sure that this was a thing that happened. Ah, yes. So, I would go with Wild Magic Sorcerer. That would be what I would go with. First of all, this song itself is already very chaotic. It's pretty chill, but to be fair, Effect, what you've described is like probably a strong 35% of Florida. So I think that fits. Probably more, in all honesty, but I'm just trying to be nice. My instinct is driving me towards Wild Magic Sorcerer. The reason being is one of the things that you can roll on a 23 to 24 is that your skin turns a vibrant shade of blue. A remove curse spell can end this effect, and also you have the chance to polymorph yourself randomly as it occurs. Because it seems to me as though the person who is singing this song does not know how exactly they are supposed to make their skin turn pink. Like, if this was a character backstory, it could quite literally be that they were eating a bunch of shrimp, accidentally cast a spell, and then was, like, turned pink. Because that's the big change that you would have to do to make this fit, is just, hey, DM, instead of blue, can we have it be bright pink? And then, can we, instead of having a sheep be the thing that we get polymorphed into, be turned into a flamingo? And then that also gives us access, if I am correct, to other spells. Oh, give it a second. Aha! The first level spell, Color Spray. That's the one. Which, hey, just lets you shoot colored light from your hands. That's pretty sick. Let's also check. I don't know if they gain access to it. Yeah, Prismatic Spray. That's another one. I'm really sad because I don't think that they get access to... There's the, like, wall of color, or whatever it is, that I don't know quite what level of spell. I suppose Sunburst, but that isn't quite exactly what we're looking for. Dancing Lights cantrip. So that's what you're going to take. You're just going to take a bunch of spells that are incredibly colorful. Honestly, if you have access to Chromatic Orb, I imagine that Chromatic Orb is pretty dang colorful. 7th level Prismatic Spray, we've already talked about that one. Also just already a pretty dang good spell. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say is what this character is founded on. Just, hey, sometimes when I cast things, weird things happen. They're probably just really free. As a suggestion, I would probably put them as a doppelganger, like a. Wait, are they actually? Is that the race? It's what Blix was. And for the life of me, I can't remember. I want to say it's a doppelganger, because I know that that's the D&D monster that I'm thinking of. Changeling, not doppelganger. Changeling. It's a changeling. I would take changeling. Like, a lot of the verse is like showing off who you are. You don't need to change. It's boring being the same. You're pretty either way. Them just like going through whatever they want to look like on the day. Being able to change themselves and show other people that is okay as well. Like, that it's okay to show your true colors, even if those colors are vibrant pink from being blasted by a prismatic spray. Like, that's what I would go with. A changeling sorcerer, subclass, wild magic, that their backstory is they didn't know that they had magic. They were just sitting like at an all-you-can-eat buffet eating shrimp. Suddenly they were bright pink. And the best part about it is they may still be bright pink, because the only way that you can get rid of that effect is with a remove curse spell. So you're just running through life as a hot pink changeling, firing bolts of color at whoever comes at you. This is a character that I support greatly. I think that's absolutely incredible. Oh, also, I completely forgot. Happy Pride Month, everybody. It's June. Sometimes I forget that my birthday and Pride Month are in the same month. There was a bunch of talk about colors, so that's what reminded me. Yeah, also, this character, this changeling, definitely has a villain arc. That's what I would like to say for this. There's no doubt in my mind that one day, or just for a moment, all color grays out for them. And they'll come back. There's a redemption arc, too. But there is like a brief dark villain arc. And that's the character that I am. The real shrimp was the friends we met along the way. Yeah, this character is great. I feel free to lobby for names in the chat. That is your guys' choice. This is your headcanon. Maybe whatever name you would please. Thank you for the gifted sub, Handskate, and Effect. You can thank Handskate for that. To the book. Let's go! You missed it, Handskate. Earlier we had a hype train that was at 69%. Nice. Let's see. After Flamingo, let's see. We have Tonight You Belong to Me, which is by Patience and Prudence. If it is a song that I'm thinking of, which is the book Tonight You Belong to Me. Ah. I'm going to take a dark turn with this. I can feel it in my bones. I'm gonna take a dark turn. Anytime that you have a song that is like pre-60s, pre-70s really, I can take a dark turn for this. Hey, Halcyon. That's wild. It's still afternoon for me. We're doing characters based off of songs. That's what we're doing today. Again, I'm having a blast. I can't remember how this song goes, but it's the I know you belong to somebody new, but tonight you belong to me. Although we're apart, you're part of my heart, and tonight you belong to me. Wait down by the stream, how sweet it will seem once more just to dream in the moonlight. My honey, I know with the dawn that you will be gone, but tonight you belong to me. Wait down along the stream, how very, very sweet it will seem once more just to dream in the silvery moonlight. My honey, I know with the dawn that you will be gone, but tonight you belong to me, just to little old May. I'm going to go Warlock. I don't know what else to. I'm going Warlock. And let me tell you, we're going to look at the Great Old One Warlock. Because let me tell you a little 14th level ability that the Great Old One Warlock has, which is create thrall. A fun little ability. In my opinion, it is one of the most situationally broken spells in the game, or abilities in the game. So 14th level. Let's get out the book. For those of you who don't know, 14th level Warlock, create thrall. It only works against creatures that are incapacitated. And incapacitated can mean a lot of different things. But in this specific sense, it could be someone is asleep. It could be someone is unconscious. It could be a lot of different things. There's spells. If you take Raulofim's Psychic Lance, I believe, it incapacitates people for a round. 14th level. You gain the ability to infect a humanoid's mind with alien magic of your patron. You can use your action to touch an incapacitated humanoid. That creature is then charmed by you until a remove curse spell is cast on it. The charmed condition is removed from it, or you can use this feature again. You can communicate telepathically with the charmed creature as long as the two of you are on the same plane of existence. That sounds like someone belongs to you. Also, thank you for the happy birthday, Raiden, and also thank you for the gifted sub. We're doing song characters, if you couldn't tell. This is kind of a terrifying character. We're about to make another villain, is what I hear. Because also, kind of not chill. just gonna throw it out there. Don't be weird like the character that we're about to make. This character is probably obsessed with someone or something. It may be just that they are trying to gather servants for their dark god, or whatever strange otherworldly creature from the great beyond has invaded their mind and told them to gather willing or unwilling souls for them. And this sounds like, once again, the start of their story. This... You are okay, Raiden. Hey, internet happens. No need to apologize. Be here or don't be here, we still appreciate you as a person. And that goes for everyone who sees this. So, create thrall, the ability to charm a humanoid basically permanently until someone removes it fully from them. You can have one of them at a time. They are fully, basically under your control in a lot of different ways. Let's see. One of the things that is very important for this song in specific, there's a lot of talk of moonlight. So we're most likely going to go Pact of the Tome. Specifically because in Xanathar's Guide to Everything, which is the book that we're going to be looking at as well. I would love if their patron is just the moon. Have you seen that? Have you seen the things where people are just like, I'm going to fight the moon because the moon is going to kill us all, and I have decided to fight it. We're just going to double down on that. We're also going to take... Where are we? Aspect of the moon. That's the one that I'm looking for. You no longer need to sleep and can't be forced to sleep by any means. To gain the benefits of a long rest, you can spend all 8 hours doing light activities such as reading your Book of Shadows and keeping watch. This fits in with the lyrics of the song very well. All right. How sweet it will seem once more just to dream in the moonlight. That isn't them actually dreaming. They don't sleep anymore. They absorb the moonlight. That is their long rest. Knowing that not only the person that they have enthralled, which they're probably going to sacrifice to their dark god, but also the moon itself will be gone with the dawn. With the dawn that you will be gone, but tonight you belong to me. So yeah, your patron is whatever is living inside the moon, or on the moon, or maybe the moon itself. This dark extraterrestrial creature, perhaps it lives on the dark side of the moon. No one has ever seen it. Perhaps it's the man in the moon. Who knows? It is the Hive. This is fair. We're just playing Destiny 2. Moon's haunted. We're going to take it down. Let's see. Is there any other important lyrics? Obviously, there's a lot of... Warlocks are some of the most themable like classes in the game. Like, that's just kind of a go-to. So if we're looking at just grabbing some invocations, I would assume, let's see, Bewitching Whispers and Beguiling Influence are both excellent options for being this kind of like, we will join us. And by the join us, I mean join me. There's no one else. It's just me tonight. Look at me. I'm beautiful. I'm lovely. You would love to go meet me down by the river tonight. And we can run away together. I love you. We can fall in love. Then you get there, you ensorcel them and sacrifice them to your dark gods. This is another villain. All right, it's a villain. This is a maybe this doesn't seem like a BBEG. This sounds like an arc villain. Like, you head to this city and people keep disappearing, maybe only once to twice a week. But there is a character in this village that is incredibly like alluring in a lot of ways. Very it doesn't necessarily have to be attractive, but they're very personable. They're well loved by pretty much the entire city. Obviously, if you are the DM, your players are going to catch on to this and be like, first of all, this is a major NPC. Most likely, it's either the villain or an NPC that will help us. It's one of the two. It's gotta be. That's just where your brain goes. We are talking about the song Tonight You Belong to Me by Patience and Prudence. It's a villain song. It's a villain backstory. This is probably the first time that they sacrifice someone to their dark god that is the moon. And most likely it was the entire reason that they were entrapped by this creature is because their relationships were not going well. They most likely fell in love with insert other person. And then were rejected and did not take it well. And then a dark voice whispered to them saying, hey, you can have them. They can be yours. Like, just accept my gift. Suddenly they have been changed into this very attractive, alluring, like almost alien-esque creature. Manages to suddenly change the mind of the love interest and have them just for one night until suddenly the moon, it takes its cost. All right. And so then they have to do this over and over and over again in this endless loop of falling in love with someone and then entrapping them with their mind powers and then sacrificing them to their dark gods over and over and over again. And then the players would have to stop them because, lo and behold, that's really gross and disgusting. Don't do that. Effect, I keep a list of them written down. So if you send them in the chat, I will write them in my little notebook of things. because I have about 2 on there right now. I would love to. There's a definite potential. I plan to eventually be streaming just myself as well. Normally there's other people on this show, but Lydia's sick today. Drew couldn't be there, and DJ's on a trip in the mountains doing rock climbing stuff. So it's just me. When eventually I start streaming on my own, and I might do this semi-regularly, I will for sure have a place for it. But you can either send it in the chat, or you can go to our Discord and drop them off there. And I write down the ones that are on Discord as well. As for whether or not Grant will drop off food today, Maz, it's always up in the air. It's entirely random whether or not Grant decides to show up. You know, Grant, surprise me. I'm down for food. If you wanna stop by and bring me something, I don't know if the door is locked or not, so might have to leave the stream for a little bit. I would put it on break. But yeah, so Grant, if you wanna grab something and drop it by, you are free to do so. Surprise me. I don't have any preferences. If you go to a specific restaurant, tell me and I might have one offhand. But yeah, so if you have songs that you want made into characters, yeet them into the chat. I'm down to give it a shot. The next one, fan favorite. It's the theme song of the best mod Maz, which is Wonderwall. Oh, Grant, you could join? You could have joined this whole time? Hold on, I gotta write down these names. Also, Skyros, please give me the name of the artists, because there have been a couple of times that I have a song written down and then I don't know who the artist is, and there's like 7 of them, and so then I don't know which one you're specifically looking for. But I will write. And then Ashes by also, I have a very important question, Skyros. Find the one with Sonic on it. Is this a Sonic in the Dark Knight song? Because if it is, I don't know whether or not I like if we should be like best friends or worst enemies. Because bold claim, I thought the game was fun. I enjoyed it. I know I'm in the definite like few, but I thought it was cool. I also played Sonic and the 10 Rings or whatever it was. I thought the story series of Sonic was not bad. I thought it got a bad rap. Sonic and the Secret Rings, that's the one. That was a great game. It wasn't actually, but man, I had fun playing it. Yeah, Grant, do you want to join? Are you doing stuff? I'm getting on Wonderwall literally right now. That was the next song on the list. Wonderwall lyrics, a song by Oasis. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. And by now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't know the actual rhythm to this. Oh, and Drew. Drew's here? God, thanks for gosh dang being like, hey, I'm available for a little bit. God, punks. I'm gonna go to breaks. That way I can start up a Zoom call and invite Grant. I'll still be here talking while I do so. But man, I can't believe you guys were just like, yeah, I've been available this whole time. And then you didn't. Kids these days. Let's see. Also, gotta write that down. The Hunter by Adam Jensen. Okay. Zoom. Yeah. Hagoo. Okay. Grant, if you enter on your phone... Bold claim, I've heard worse songs. Now, I don't know if I'd say that Wonderwall is the greatest, is like a great song or anything. But I've heard worse. I'm doing some last minute editing. Because apparently Grant and I have never been the only two on a Table Scraps episode. Yo, no fever, Lydia. Nice. But Lydia, you're always hot death. You can't... I dabbed. You couldn't see it? I dabbed. I'm not ashamed. Yeah, it was the pause that could send it, Skyros. That's how you know. God dang it, Grant. You can't say hey. Oh my goodness, Grant. Fine, I'll invite you again. Invited. Say something for me, Grant. You've got a whole bunch of... just so you know, they can't hear you. But there's a bit of back... Okay, wait, no, I think it's better now. You're pretty loud. A little bit more. Keep going. Yeah. Keep going. I feel like you got quieter. Oh, no, go up more. Whoa, that's too much. Too much. Can you put it midway between those two? Okay, that's pretty good. They can now hear you.
Good.
And they can also now see you.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Also, your setup looking slappy today.
Thanks, Slappy. Here, let me stick you over here. I was actually, kind of trying to configure my own stream. That's kind of what I was just working on, so I can play Minecraft and stuff.
Yeah, Grant is the minimum top 2 best setups, but that's because we only have 2 people with good setups. So
you know, I realized today. Here, let's do this. I realized today that my setup, I think, is worth more than the car I drive. Almost certainly.
Is what?
It's
oh, your setup is worth more than the car you drive.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. I'm not used to owning like nice, expensive.
That's
stuff.
fair.
And it wasn't even bought with like my money because I'm paying you back for the PC.
So, Effect, which one is did the really cool acting on TikTok about the romantic scene? That would probably be either Drew, no, not Drew, DJ or Lydia. It could also be Drew, but that's like third option because I don't think Drew's had a romantic scene for a while. If you're talking about the if you're talking about the DM who was Grotz, that would be DJ. Then Lydia was the person who got the scars removed. That scene, Grant, you and I have talked about that scene so much.
Which scene?
The Grotz and Renaya one.
Which one?
The romantic one. The
that's like 80%
nah,
of
dude.
Scenes.
Nah,
Maybe
the one that I compared to the same energy as I Don't Dance from High School Musical 2.
Oh, that scene. I know the exact scene you're talking about here.
Oh man.
You know, that was a time. Wait, have you talked about it on Table Scraps?
I don't think that we have. I've avoided that conversation for a while. Lydia will explain it to you after.
It's just funny. You guys are fantastic role players. That's the thing. And DJ's DJ, and DJ does DJ things.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was an incredible scene. The comparison to High School Musical 2's I Don't Dance with Corbin Blue is completely is not a, first of all, it's not an insult, and it has nothing to do with the actual acting of the scene. It's just the type of scene is the same as the song.
I put up a 1 minute poll to see if they know what we're talking
Yeah,
about here.
do you guys know
It's okay if you don't. We're
what I
not going to
talk
cover
about?
it either way. We probably won't.
Now, are you talking about what the scene specifically for the show, right?
Yes, like during the.
Because I would love to talk about the scene from High School Musical too.
Oh no, not that one.
Oh man,
I'm talking about the scene specifically from our main.
Yes. Thing. So, I mean, a lot of our people came from TikTok. So, and that's like I think that's our biggest TikTok right now, right?
That one, I think it got like over 150K.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, sorry about that.
Yeah, so most likely y'all have seen the TikTok if you follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, podcast,
what have you
Discord.
done today on Table Scraps?
I've been making.
I've been here for a little bit. But
I've literally just been making 100% the 3 people. They all know. I've been making song characters, D&D characters based off of songs. That's pretty much all I've done today. Again? Yep. Wow, you're doing that again, Aaron?
No, that's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like the audience, a majority, knows what we're talking about here, so that's good.
A majority, 13 people in the stream, 3 of them responded.
Yeah.
But 100% of those 3 people know what we're talking about.
I have some Jimmy Johns. I literally haven't been back from work very long. I just kind of got back and started setting things up, so I kind of impulsively decided to join here. So if you wanna take the lead, I'll follow, man.
Is that a bit better on the sound for Grant? Grant, say something.
What's going on?
Monologue.
Am I loud? Am I quiet?
How's that sounding now?
What's going on here, everybody?
Because I turned up my desktop audio so they can hear you a bit better.
Are you playing your music as well?
No, there's not currently background music. That turned off when we get the 2 people.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
So
I can see us now.
Lydia, what did you want to know about? Okay, I'll turn them up a little bit more.
A little more. I can also turn myself up if you guys really need.
I turned you up on my end.
Okay.
Monologue. Give me a Shakespeare.
I look up at the window and there a blossom in the moonlight. It's Juliet. I call up to you, fair maiden. You know, that's
close
Shakespeare.
Enough. Close enough. You tried.
Let down your hair.
I would love to. Could I just say this is one of the things that I would love to do on Table Scraps. I've seen videos.
Yeah, let's workshop here. Let's
in the past. Just takes out a massive sandwich. I would love to do. Have you seen the script reading videos where 2 to 3 people will just read through the script of a movie or something?
Oh yeah.
I would love to do something. I think it would be hilarious.
Shrek 2.
I'm down to do something like that. Just scenes from movies.
Shrek 2 is the best Shrek.
One of my favorite ones that I saw was they did episode 3, Star Wars episode 3. It was a riot.
You know, people kind of trash on me because Star Wars episode 3 is my favorite Star Wars.
I'm just saying, I had a conversation. I was hanging out with a friend of mine that I haven't talked to for a long time last night. And he loves Star Wars. He is a huge Star Wars guy. It's Gabe.
Is it Drew?
For you. Oh. Love Star Wars. I'm actually not a huge Star Wars fan. I know I'll lose a lot of stans by saying that. I think it's fine. But, I don't think it's, as good as a lot of people hype it up to be. I think that the original trilogy has some really, really stellar things. It has a lot of meaning and purpose. I think that there's a lot of good choreography in the prequels.
So true. I like the prequels. A lot of people don't like the prequels.
I liked them. I thought that they were fun.
I think they're fine. They're great stories.
And I'll be honest, judging from the popularity of recent things, it has characters that were basically fully made in the prequels. Yes, Obi-Wan Kenobi is in the original trilogy, but the one that people talk about is the prequel Kenobi.
Absolutely.
That's who they know him to be.
I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero to. I'm just looking at chat. Hi. Do I have the higher ground? Unfortunately, here I don't have the higher ground. If I did have the higher ground, then I would tell Aaron not to try jumping over me.
I already don't want to. I jump high, but it is vertically. I don't go over
Guys,
things.
you should see Aaron like catch a frisbee. When he gets his eyes set on a frisbee flying over his head, it's insane the amount of force that his quads generate to launch himself up. Like it's nuts.
I have a pretty dang, for someone who weighs 285. I've got a pretty dang good vertical jump. Like,
That's true.
it's kind of outrageous.
Volleyball. I'm sorry I keep talking with my mouth full.
I don't care.
I know you don't. But, I mean,
I like that. So my favorite thing here. So normally Lydia gets to experience this while she's on the stream. She can't even avoid it while she's just in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
unavoidable.
But yeah, I think that the original that the prequels of Star Wars pretty dang all right. I think that they're pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of the sequel movies, the like recent ones that came out.
Mm.
I think that there's just a lot of things. I literally when Leia force like pushes herself back into the ship, that's when I ended. That's
spoilers, Aaron. I'm just kidding.
That's when I was like, I don't really
but
watch
she
these movies anymore.
You can explain that. I mean, she's a Skywalker.
I agree. Oh no,
she's been around 100%. For a while. She knows how the Force works. Like it makes sense.
I absolutely agree. Giving
how did
Leia
she
the
not
Force,
die in space? That's
the problem that I have.
Like the Force thing was fine.
I don't have a problem with her having the Force. I don't have a problem with that. When she gets jettisoned into space, she should have died. I don't care who you are. You don't just get to exist in the vacuum of space and be fine.
So chat looks like they're having fun here. It's not Taco Baco, it's Jimmy John's. It's a number 9. What kind of sandwich? Just said. Have a chicken nugget. Thank you. It is not Taco Baco. Did I say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
Grant,
playable character would... Oh,
too.
this is an excellent... If you're talking about playable character as from the show, which of the characters from the show would like Star Wars the best?
Cather.
It's probably Cather.
Absolutely, dude.
It's so strangely enough, it's one of the Paladins. Like I think Tarak could have really been down with Star Wars.
Yeah, I could see it.
Like he's just like, man, it was so cool when like they did the flips and stuff. I'm like, ah.
Oh wait.
Like I'm like, but he wouldn't like it for the actual story. He would just think that Tarak is absolutely a prequel stan.
Mm-hmm.
He loves the prequels. He's like, I just don't like it wasn't very good action.
Edward would be the one, and I kind of relate to this. Edward would be the one that's like, the Jedi kind of messed up. That would be Edward's take, and I actually empathize with that. I think the Jedi have a lot of issues that most people gloss over. Oh
no, people are on the Jedi problem anymore.
Jedi are messed up. Yeah, okay. I feel like people have figured this out.
Havel is absolutely he just loves Kylo Ren.
Yeah, that's true.
Havel
likes Kylo. You know what he really likes? He likes the what's the new Morbius came out? It's
oh no. Oh no.
Havel likes the what is that series
It's literally
called?
Morbius.
Is that
That's
series?
The name of the movie.
Yeah, but it's a part of the series, right? Series?
What? Are you talking about Moon Knight?
No, okay, never mind.
What are you talking about, dog?
Never mind, dude.
It's literally, bro, Havel just being like... Wait,
somebody said happy birthday to you.
Thank you for saying happy birthday.
Go.
I'm talking about Star Wars, all right? Havel is absolutely the type to say, unironically, I'm about to morb. That is...
Morby boy. I'm Morbin.
It's Morbin time.
Mighty Morbin Power Rangers.
Okay, give me a second.
I need to finish this sandwich. Stop making me talk.
I'm going to gosh dang tip scrap break so that way I can invite Drew.
Could
Let
you
me
talk
invite
so I
people.
don't have to talk while I'm eating my sandwich?
Well, maybe you should get over yourself.
I'm almost done with it, dude. This is 8 inches of sandwich. Effect has a great point.
Yes.
Also, since Aaron's not talking,
Yeah. No, I'm loving this. Go on.
remember when Obi-Wan Kenobi says, only Siths deal in absolutes?
And it
That
is an
in itself
absolute.
is an
Yes.
absolute. Yeah.
Yeah, we know. I don't think that there's anyone who like.
Hey, Drew is here, and the stream is all weird.
No, it isn't. Because I've already. Oh shoot! I never transitioned to the break. Oh wow! Whoops! My bad,
L.
guys.
L.
Yep,
L.
blowing this one. Lydia's technically here.
Shout out all Star Wars enjoyers, and now I'm Drew, and
Yep, you're
Lydia
Drew.
is
I gotta
Drew.
move this one. Gotta move this over here.
I don't even see. Oh, hey,
Move
Drew.
Lydia down.
Drew, tell me about
Then
your day.
move
How about my day?
Yeah.
Plant
What have
okay.
you been up to?
Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. I need to double check. Okay, no, that is. I've been doing okay.
Ta-da!
I got to a point at work that I could join you
You
guys.
are glowing, my guy.
Also, Drew, I think you're a
I
little
know,
quiet. If you could turn yourself up a bit.
I'm well, fine.
We ask him a question, and then just immediately interrupt him.
Just immediately be like, you know what, Drew, do better.
Lydia's sick-sad and lost. She requests that you help her.
Oh, this sandwich never ends, dude.
What?
Lydia, she's requesting your assistance because she's sick, sad,
Why?
and lost. So, Mr. Star Wars export, get on that.
Oh, okay. Oh, here, give me a second, because
Did
I
you
was.
say export.
It
Yes.
was requested of me. Oh, that's a little too loud.
Oh, yeah, just
It
a
was
tad.
requested of me to turn myself up. So that's what I was working on. Okay. I'm sorry.
All day.
Yes. Welcome to my glowing wall. At least that's what it looks like on camera. That's just because my laptop camera
Also,
sucks.
there
I
are
mean,
lines on your camera. Do you know about that?
oh, that's just the light.
Is it the light? It looked like legitimately there was like
Uh-huh.
Don't
weird
go into the
lines.
light, Drew.
I know, right? I wish. See, the thing is, I don't have any sort of actual like good setup at work because I don't stream here very often. But then you guys started talking about Star Wars. I'm like, I can't not join.
Right? Star Wars is great. Let's
Overrated.
keep this rolling here. Really, you think so?
Absolutely.
I mean, I can understand why somebody would think it's overrated.
I know where we need to take this conversation, though.
Uh-huh.
The thing I haven't seen that I've heard more than once from multiple credible sources that I trust, that is a fantastic, one of the best shows, is the Clone Wars. And I've never actually watched the Clone Wars, so I don't actually have an opinion.
You're missing out.
Yes, and I know you like it, Drew.
100%. Clone Wars is the best Star Wars content out there.
I am willing to say that in terms of the Star Wars media that exists, I do think that the animated media is almost always, I'm not going to say always, but it is probably the best Star Wars media that there is. Like the story writing for animated Star Wars shows is just in general better than the movies in my opinion.
I want to grab a sound bite from Star Wars right now and load it into my stream deck.
Like the characters are great, the story like writing is great. The animation is good and has a very unique flavor to it that lets you immediately know what the show is. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I think out of the Star Wars stuff, and it isn't that I don't like it. It's that I don't like it as much as people tell me I should like it.
Well, and I think part of that is the problem with the sequels.
The sequels were not great for me.
They're just bad. They're just bad.
Oof,
I
a bold statement.
Like
I still haven't really. Okay, so I watched the newer ones. You're talking about the newest ones, right?
Yeah,
That Disney made and
with, like,
everything.
Rey and
those
Kylo
are,
and stuff.
those are the sequels.
Yeah, I haven't. I've seen them.
Original.
I don't really remember them. Are they even like memorable movies, or is
No.
that the whole problem
So-
where they're just like
so hear me out.
kind of
What?
turned out?
So
Turn out.
take the original trilogy
Okay.
and then take all of the plot lines from the original trilogy, make them worse, and then improve the video quality.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are there people out there that genuinely like loved the Star Wars sequels? Like,
Oh yeah.
I want to go on Rotten Tomatoes and I want to see what, just from a non-biased, basic, opinion would be.
I don't
So
know if
let's
we
look up,
can.
what's the name of one of them?
Can we consider Rotten Tomatoes non-biased?
I don't know. What's the name of the newest one?
So okay, so
Last Jedi or something?
no. So it was the Force Awakens, the Last Jedi, and then the Rise of Skywalker.
I'm gonna look up the Rise of Skywalker.
Most people of the sequels say the Force Awakens was the most okay of the sequel movies.
I would agree, but that's also because it was just the same as that stuff they've already done before. And so it's like, at least it was good when we did it the first time, so it'll be fine.
Okay, so hear this out. For what's this one? For the Rise of Skywalker, which was 2019, by the way. That was 3 years ago. It's kind of crazy. All critics on on Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 52%. The top critics gave it a 43%, but the audience gave it an 86%. Overall, it's, I guess, a 76 for the audience.
See, okay, so here's the... Okay, so first of all, this is nothing to say. Lydia, the thing is, we didn't have an original rail to go with. Grant just got on and started talking about Star Wars. This is the rails.
This is... Yeah,
we are perfectly on track right now.
I do find it amusing we have not talked about Camp Cryptids at all.
I couldn't talk about it myself, and then I didn't expect anyone to get on.
I mean, I'm fine with talking about Camp Cryptids. Let's do it.
Sure.
That's more on the rails than Star Wars.
So, Lydia, what did we start with? That's my question. Because I know that I started with...
this is content.
Characters.
Content is content.
Like characters made off of songs. But then Grant's get on. So when Grant starts his own conversation, then I'm down. Because that's pretty much what you started with, other than talking about sandwiches.
What does Grant have in his mini fridge?
See, this is...
He has Sunkissed, Diet Coke, and 1 root beer. Now the question is, what should Grant eat or drink from his mini fridge? Chat, help me out. We need action music.
And Lydia, actually, the only reason we even started about talking about that scene was because one of the viewers messaged about it, so they got us off track. Now we're back on track with Grant's Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, we're talking to the audience here. Root beer?
Exactly.
Good, that's what I wanted.
It's Grant.
I could stream my new setup.
You could. Or if we would like, we can transition to talking about
the show that we do?
The show that we actually do on Mondays.
That's kind of a good idea, I guess.
I could
humor that idea.
I covered it a little when I started, just talking about like what's going on and stuff like that. But I didn't actually talk about a lot of the content of the show. I just said like, hey, it's a miniseries, it's pre-recorded. Lydia, the one that DMs for it.
Tina's in chat.
Tina has been in chat. So first episode went well. Managed to stream it on time. I think it went super well. We had very good viewership as well.
Yeah, we did.
Grant, your character is kind of a focal point to definitely the first episode.
Yeah.
Talk us through kind of what's this first episode about?
So essentially, also Hans, thank you for gifting Lydia's mom a sub.
Woo! Let's go, baby! This is what we're here for.
My stream is great. I see. Yeah. First episode. Basically, there's a camp, in the woods.
The name of the show is Camp Cryptid. That's the name of the show.
Yeah. And this camp is hidden to, like, human society. And basically everybody that goes to the camp are cryptids. I'll spare some of the major details I get. There's not a lot of spoilers because a lot of it is set up. But essentially my character is, and this is known right away, is a human boy in a cryptid costume who received a brochure about Camp Cryptid and is now attending Camp Cryptid. However, humans and cryptids don't particularly get along. Not like they fight, but the cryptids have like scary stories about humans, and they think humans are like terrible and like
A lot of them don't
monsters,
even think that
basically.
humans exist.
Yeah, it's almost like a mythical, spooky humans.
The roles have been
Um,
swapped.
Yeah, yeah. And humans, I mean, feel the same about cryptids. Now, my character thinks that Camp Cryptids is just a bunch of kids in costumes celebrating cryptids, and his since he likes cryptids, he's just pumped about it. And then, turns out, oh my gosh, all these weird monsters are real. The best part is it's literally kids. Like it's just kids. They just also happen to be like cryptids, like children cryptids. And so it's pretty fun because his human identity has to go kind of secret, and that's kind of the whole hook of
Mm-hmm.
the entire episode, I guess. Yeah.
We are obviously all three of us playing the game. Drew, you are currently playing uh, the face of the party,
100%.
which
Absolutely.
is just
Fan
it's an
favorite.
adorable face.
Yes, that's right.
Is what it is.
Yes. Good old
You are playing
Cheers.
the young Loch Ness monster NJ. Am I correct on that?
Yep. Oh yes. Oh, NJ. He is adorable. I actually so we'll get to see this more in the coming episodes. I love NJ
NJ's
so.
adorable.
He's just this cute little kid who's just here for the ride. And it's adorable. Because he's not like and you'll see this later. The only thing NJ does is just be cute and wholesome. That was my goal for NJ. And it was a very, I think it was a very nice refresher from Catherine.
Yeah.
Very
I hate
different
everything.
energies.
The world is dead to me. Everyone I know suffers when I'm surrounded. I am adorable.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
And then we have Jackson.
Oh man, Jackson. Yeah, that's my character. I'm a scumbag.
Jackson is just something else, man.
Jackson is like, you know how in every group of like 10 to 13-year-old kids, there's the one that just makes life hell for every living creature on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
That's Jackson. Jackson is a little ball of angst and rage that doesn't want to be here, doesn't want to help people, enjoys actively the suffering of others.
And do you want to say
man.
like what cryptid you are?
I'm
I
a
guess?
Spring-Heel Jack, which is a much less well-known cryptid compared to well, I suppose Frankie doesn't really count because he's a human, but Frankie is cosplaying as a sheep squatch. Question: That's like not an actual cryptid, right?
No, sheep squatch is
Is
totally
it
real.
is it a real thing?
I think
Because I
Lydia's
know
actually the
about
one,
Sasquatch, but I like off the top of my head, I can't think of sheep squatch.
No, sheep squatch is low key terrifying. I'm gonna pull up. Oh
That-
my gosh!
that
If
makes
you
sense.
search sheep squatch in Google, you'll see what I mean. It
'Cause
is
it's
legitimately
in my mind, I was like, it's one of the two things. It's either A, Grant found something that sounds like like a kid that made up like their OC cryptid, their original character, which is like, imagine if Sasquatch was also part sheep, and it was like a sheep squatch, or there's actually just a real cryptid named Sheep Squatch, and someone thought this is a really good idea of a name for a cryptid.
I can share. I think I can share an image of a sheep squatch right now.
You could. It'll mess up the overlay.
No. I think I can actually do it with just my
Just
thing.
your
Hold on,
zone.
Let me see if I can.
I'm
I
down.
can do this.
That'd be
I obviously am not a cryptid expert.
Look! Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Do you see this?
It's perfect.
Or like this?
Oh, so
Are you seeing
okay,
that?
so it's just like an undead two-legged ram thing.
Yeah, it basically looks like that. It's pretty terrifying.
Gotcha.
But his is more like, he just has
It's
the fur
cute.
and the horns. It's yeah.
I mean,
But a Spring-Heeled Jack was originally it was a creature that was seen in like I can't remember the name that I'm looking for, but in like England, Britain, uh, and it was like an ongoing event that happened multiple times in around the like Jack the Ripper era, where the description of said Spring-Heeled Jack differs, and like as stories did in that time, it evolved to be strange, and like they just added more and more to it because like people would say and people would blame a lot of things on random stories that they would hear. But the main idea of Spring-Heeled Jack is they don't like actively rob things. They pretty much just show up. They jump down from the top of buildings, like rip up people's belongings, and then jump away into the distance. And yeah, that's Jackson. He's Spring-Heeled Jack. He does steal things. He's a bit of a kleptomaniac. But it's more just for the purpose of he wants other people to not be having a good time.
Yeah, that was my speaker.
Yeah, so I have a blast playing Jackson, and he isn't as bad as I make him sound. He's like actually pretty dang useful throughout the show. He's got an incredible like competitive streak. My favorite scene has been referenced, which is just I like everyone's celebrating after winning a competition. Then Jackson's just in the background pelting a random child with water balloons. That's Jackson in a nutshell. So what we have on Table Scraps right now is NJ and his antithesis.
Yes.
Where if NJ is all that is good in the world, Jackson is all that is evil.
Yeah, 100%. And there's Frankie in the middle.
Yep, and then there's him. This obviously it's a pre-recorded show. I've mentioned it.
Specifically Camp Cryptid, not
it's good.
Table Talk. So.
Yeah, Camp Cryptid is a scripted show. It's really solid. Lydia did a very good job.
Well,
not scripted, recorded.
Not scripted,
that's the word.
Recorded. Lydia already has planned what's going to happen, obviously, because she's the GM. We go into it just having our characters, really, and we've had 2 other pre-recorded miniseries, Between the Rows and then Between the Rows 1871, the sequel to that.
Mm-hmm.
We're planning on having Between the Rows every year, pretty much,
yep.
for, like, spooky season, and that's Aaron DMing. And then this, as of now, is just a one-time miniseries of 4 episodes we're releasing. So it's all pre-recorded, edited, so it's a little bit higher production quality. And we hope to do these more, like annually.
Oh yeah. Miniseries are a fun little extra thing that we get to do. It is like a fair bit of extra work, but I think that it's good for us to release additional content outside of our traditional Monday Dungeons and Dragons game, especially if it's with other systems and RPGs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's the most exciting part for me. Is like being able to explore other spaces, I guess.
So I recently saw a new RPG that I'm interested in potentially kickstarting, and I haven't looked that far into it. I just saw a very brief ad. Mothman favorite cryptid.
Yeah, it turns out, according to chat, Mothman is their favorite.
Now, specifically, is it Myth the Mothman or just?
No, I didn't specify. I think that was hinted at. But either way, that's so good.
Okay, so there's Die the RPG. That's what it's called. And I saw a video on it, and it sounds super interesting. But the characters, there's like, oh geez, let's see, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4. There's like 5 classes, something along there. And each class has a different dice. So like there's Dictators, Fools, Emotion Knights, Neos, and Godbinders. And then there's also the Masters. So Masters are the GMs. They use D20s.
There's multiple, or is that just?
Well, if you are the GM, so
Okay,
the
gotcha.
GM will have. Oh, correction. So the GM gets the D20. The Godbinder gets to touch D12s. Neos get D10. Emotion Knights get D8s. Fools get D6s, and Dictators get D4s. And then all of all of the mechanics base on like those dice that you get. It's so it still runs on a D6 system, but all characters get D6s, and then some of them get specific dice depending on their class that have different benefits and powers and abilities and things like that. It sounds like a super interesting like system, and I want to read up more on it. I don't have the time right now, but it's fully funded. There's 7 days left. I want to know what's going on here.
I want to know what's going on.
For those of you who don't know, I love cool RPG systems. I think I'm supposed to get some like in June.
You
like
kickstart
towards the end
a lot,
of June.
right? How many do you think you've kickstarted at this point? Not just systems, but either like addition books or minis or dice or whatever else. D&D related kickstarters. How many do you think you've done? Even just helped out. It doesn't have to be much. Counting. He's counting everybody.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Including ones that have fallen through?
Sure.
But not forever. One day they'll be back.
One day.
Let's see. I know it's at least over 5.
And including our sponsor.
Yes, our sponsor, their Kickstarter is currently done right now. But they will theoretically eventually have a store. Yes. So I don't know if they still count. I mean, they have been our sponsor. I don't know if we're currently sponsored, but we'll be getting dice from them. So that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
I would say probably sitting around 10, which isn't like that crazy in the grand scheme of things. But one of those 10 consisted of like 4 different books, and a couple of them have been like that. Speaking of cryptids, I actually have...
Oh, I know what you're about to bust out.
I can't see it. Goo. I have Cryptids Incorporated, which is a thing that I backed a while ago. Hannah actually wrote some of the stuff for this. Kickstarted that, and that's pretty sweet. There's Mothman on the cover.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yep. I actually have... if any of you choose to pick up this book, because it should be available...
I can drop a link. Let me find it.
Somewhere. I think probably...
I'm just going to search Cryptids Incorporated.
RPG... I can't remember the name of the one. But I backed at a level that I got one of my characters was used for the class examples. So I got to write a cool little backstory. They made some art for him.
Is this Kickstarter still active, or?
I do not believe it is an active one. This is the.
I'm trying to find like.
I kickstarted. This was the character design that they came up with, and then some of the backstory for that is available. They're super cool. I'm still in the Discord forum. Check them out if you're interested in cryptid stuff. Like you liked Camp Cryptid. They're pretty dang cool people. I can't get this book back on my shelf.
I'm having a hard time finding a link here to.
It's on.
Is there a way you can purchase?
I mean, yes. It's from a specific website that I can never remember the name of.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you remember? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Drew.
I was just gonna ask. Did you ever check out the? Speaking of Kickstarters, did you ever check out the Kickstarter I sent you like 2 weeks ago?
No, but I did. I didn't like take a deep dive. It's Drive Through RPG is where you could find it.
Okay.
Type in Cryptids Incorporated, and then it should be the first thing that pops up. That's the website that you're going to be looking for. I didn't like actually go to the location, but it is certainly specifically the thing that Drew sent me was Bloodpunk, a Victorian setting and dark adventure for 5e. I just, at the moment, I don't have the current funds so I'm trying to avoid looking at Kickstarter as much as possible. Because I'm like, I need to step back, take care of my money and stuff. But if any of you in the chat have recommendations for super cool, like, tabletop role-playing games, I am always down to check things out. I'm super
play
excited.
them on stream, potentially.
Yep, we've used other RPG systems in the past. Camp Cryptids is actually Lydia's own kind of creation. Mm-hmm. Well, Lydia, see, the difference is I was able to look at this because guess what? He sent it to me over text. Lydia,
It sounds like shade. What happened?
Well, Lydia keeps asking me to listen to a song, and I'm really bad at listening to songs, especially if the only place that they're posted is in the Discord. Because then people talk, and then the link goes farther up, and I can't find it. So even if I think about it, I don't know which chat it's in. So if you send something to me over text, it's a lot more likely that I'll actually look at it.
Or you could trap him in a Zoom meeting and then audio share, and then he has to.
I am the one who controls the Zoom meetings. I am the one.
Aaron does possess the majority of the power here in the Paper Dungeon.
Yes. For example.
I don't know. I also, real quick.
Something along this can happen where I put Grant in a waiting room. And sure, it messes up the overlay, but...
No, but it's a power play, you know?
Exactly. Like, if I just really want to show off, it's a pretty good way to do it. And then I have to struggle to gosh dang get him back in, admit him, something like that. Bam, ta-da.
Right,
see, look at that.
Proven.
Also, now
point
your
proven.
spins and flips.
Yeah, you did good. Real quick, so I dropped the link to the Cryptids Incorporated. What part did Hannah help out on? For those of you who don't know, Hannah played Melora on the cast.
I believe she wrote the entry for Goatman.
Oh,
I believe that is what she did. She came up with the
okay, cool.
Yeah, some of the like stats and stuff for Goatman and stuff like that. It was a while ago that I kickstarted this, so I'm not super familiar with it. But yeah, Handskate, feel free to send cool TTRPGs. We'll check them out. Slightly obsessed. I love cool systems.
If it's a song, don't send it over Discord or else Aaron will not listen to it.
Honestly, if you send it over Discord, I probably won't remember it. If you private message me over Discord, then it's there forever. The difference is that it's directly sent.
I want to hear more from Drew. I want to hear Drew talk about playing NJ and if he anticipated how he played NJ. Reminder, only one episode has aired, so don't say anything about
I can't get into specifics.
No squalors.
But I do want to hear about your conception of NJ and if it was different in practice, you know?
Yes.
Just blanket yes.
So when we first were creating our characters for Camp Cryptid, I had no idea what I wanted to do. The only vague idea that I had was playing the Loch Ness Monster because the Loch Ness Monster is my favorite cryptid.
Oh.
But literally Lydia and I went back and forth as to like how it would work, like if I would be like as he is right now, like this like kind of more dinosaur thing, or if he'd be like more like a fish person, or if he could like how that would work. If like be like technically like a mermaid. Kind of. And so eventually I finally decided on this, and I did not anticipate NJ being the wholesome, adorable little guy that he is.
What did you anticipate?
I expected. What did I expect? Probably somewhere in between, oddly enough, somewhere in between Frankie and Jackson.
Whoa, those are two opposite sides. So like an edgy.
A little like. Yeah, I mean, like he's like Frankie in the sense of like he's maybe a little more shy, a little more reserved. But he's also like kind of edgy because he's like
It's a
I,
freaking Loch Ness monster,
it's
baby.
yeah, I don't know how best to describe it.
He's a necky boy,
But then like he became just this wholesome little guy. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with this.
Lean into it, buddy.
I did. I really did.
Oh yeah.
You did exactly what I hoped you'd do because I wanted you to play that like goofy, like cutesy, uh like lovable character. I wanted you to do that so bad. I never really said anything. That's just what I hoped. That you'd have a weird voice and you'd just be this
NJ would not
adorable
be
little
that,
plushie,
by the way.
So I'm pretty darn happy with NJ's performance and I
Yeah.
can't talk about it. Late game is fun too with NJ.
Like
Um,
I said this.
no
I said
spoilers
this
though.
before. NJ just continues to get better.
That's so true.
Um, which is shocking to some people because people like, how could NJ get better? Oh, he does. He does.
He so does, and
Uh,
that's one of the best parts I think about the way Cryptid was. Like the whole premise was kind of cartoony, where it's like it's playful, feel good, similar energy to like Gravity Falls or like more of a kids show. I guess is kind of I think the like foundational idea. Um, Lydia, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but as you can see, or as you go through the show, you can tell that the characters are get more defined as it goes, obviously, and they bond pretty well throughout the show. I'd say, 100% the vibe good, and I feel like as a first episode, like starting something is the hardest thing for a show. Like getting started, getting through the exposition, and like doing it well is so tough. And I think it's the thing we have the hardest time at as a cast. But I felt like for Camp Cryptids, we set the stage really well as far as like each character like showing off what they do, I guess. Not particularly in utility, just like showing and showcasing their characters, setting the tone, being at camp. Lydia did fantastic at introducing everything. And then I think in the future episodes, it's very successfully built off of.
Hmm.
And by the end, you have a pretty substantial product, I'd say. Not like product as the show, but like where it ends up through all of that building is a pretty satisfying um, result, I'd say. So I think it went well. With these side shows, you never really know where they're going or how they'll turn out. So I don't know about you guys, but I felt pretty darn happy with it.
Oh, I liked
yeah,
it a lot.
yeah. I really really did enjoy it, and like, yeah, and it's like you could definitely tell like for us, knowing how the next episodes go, like you could definitely see like the foundations being laid in episode one, and like really kind of getting into it the next couple episodes,
Mm-hmm.
like the final episodes, which totally just makes sense. I mean, that's just kind of the process with it. It's just because we're feeling out our characters too. Like sure we have an idea of like I'm going to be like this, but then how does that actually like come to play in game? How does
Yeah, and
that
as you said,
get
you
put
didn't
on?
Oh
even
yeah.
know NJ's
I
like
did no
demeanor until
like
you were
NJ.
actually there doing
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
and like I did not expect NJ to be as wholesome as he is, and I'm so happy that he was.
I fully expected uh, Jackson to be just as much of a scumbag as he is.
I feel like this is your dream, like ideal
Oh, it's
character
great.
situation.
I was gonna say like basically this is NJ and Jackson. This is what NJ and Jackson are. NJ is Drew's like full inner just wholesome self, just coming out because of how much he's played Cather, and like just the dark and grittiness of Cather, versus the opposite end where
Absolutely.
Aaron being wholesome and kind to Rack. Jackson is just his full inner embodiment of himself and just being just the worst.
100%. Okay, so here's my dilemma. I love playing like villainous characters in a lot of ways. They're still heroes, like they're still on the hero's side. But I think that it's a fun challenge to play a character who is not particularly good or nice and still be a hero. And this goes for D&D or anything else like that. And so I love playing characters that are like, oh yeah, I was a serial killer, or I'm like absolutely deranged.
Like an anti-hero,
Hundred
kind of.
percent. Like,
Yeah.
but and then they're surrounded with people who are just actually heroes. Like that is absolutely my, like that's like my dream. It's just like one of my favorite characters I've ever played was a serial killer who was in love with a knife, and he had legally married a knife.
Yep.
And
It was
didn't
it
the
was
knife
awesome.
have sentience? That was like
Theoretically,
okay.
It was never.
it spoke to him,
Yeah, that you know. Wait.
although
Oh,
you have
I
no
see what you're
evidence of
saying
that,
here.
of whether or not it actually did. It was certainly a magical
Interesting.
knife. As for what it did, it's hard to know. But that character we actually, I got to put a little bit of my own input in. It's been in uh, Nico Miras.
Mhm.
It was that a table scraps?
Yep, first episode of Table Scraps. It was the person
I
who was at the bottom of
remember.
the mountain.
Their name starts with an R.
Uh, well,
No.
They.
Nicola Evermore was their name.
Ah, Nicola. I remember now.
Good old.
Galaxy Cloak, right? Ish.
Uh,
Am I wrong?
no,
Dang, I'm thinking of a different one.
no.
Table scraps, like when we met him, he was just a dude.
Yeah, he was just a barkeep at the bottom of the mountain that was like, "Don't go into the basement."
I have another thing. About Camp Cryptids. So I don't know if you guys felt this. One of the challenging parts about playing Camp Cryptid in particular, like when it came to characterization, was since we're all like kids in a short form, cartoony atmosphere, our like character traits are brought out more
Hmm.
because we're like a hyperbolic example of like a kid, I guess. Like we all have our things. Like NJ is the cute one, you know, that's kind of silly. DJ is the like
The golden
passionate,
child
like
camp kid,
like I will protect Gracie, like in
very
love.
homeschooled.
Sure, you know it's hard to know. Um, Frankie's the like very good, like more like let's do it, yay!
I see.
Like, good.
I feel like Frankie's the homeschool one.
Yeah,
That's
I can
fair.
Kid
see that.
is like the star public school child.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like he's in track.
I don't know about public. I feel like
Maybe private school.
I
You know,
feel like
it
he's a
doesn't
Catholic
matter.
school kid for sure.
You know, whatever.
You know
but,
he is.
And then Jackson is Jackson. He's
Jack-
just
yeah.
Jackson.
Then
And
Jackson
so-
has been in multiple schools.
It was kind of tough to play that way because how we typically play is we really enjoy the nuance of complex characterization.
Mhm.
And so that is not very hyperbolic. Sometimes it is when you really want to drive home a point. But for the most part, when we're playing our characters, I think we kind of fluctuate based on how they feel. But like in Camp Cryptid, we are like this representation of character and demeanor and like mood. And so I knew that I actually had to keep myself from holding back my acting
Mhm.
because I knew that it needed to be more because it's like showy, it's like cartoony.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
and it's
so,
also a lot more short
it's
form than
different.
our regular content too.
yeah, so we have to accomplish more.
Like
and,
if this was a
not wait
long-term
on
campaign,
things.
we may still hold some stuff back, but there isn't really a need or a possibility to do so. And yes, Nalif, I chose Jackson because he doesn't have a dad. Like they aren't like the children of cryptids; they just are the kid versions of cryptids. So is he the Spring Heel Jack's son? No, but he is Jackson.
You know, that's the first time somebody's asked that, and I've been waiting for it to be asked.
Well,
I'm so excited that that was asked. Thanks a lot.
We all
I-
chose.
well, because so NJ, technically speaking, is just supposed to be Nessie Jr.
Yeah,
That is what came to mind when I came up with the name NJ.
and then the name Kid is just is a baby goat,
It's so awesome.
and DJ's playing young goat man.
Yeah.
And so he's not young goat man; he's young goat kid.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
young kid man. I
no,
suppose.
Lydia, you're amazing. Lydia really did GM well.
Funny, yes. Also, Lydia did incredible. Funny thing about the fact that goats are named kids. there was a billboard for a like an animal shelter that said like now like donating. I can't remember. It was like, oh yeah, it was baby goats for sale, and I found it so funny because I knew that they were like, oh, we have a bunch of like baby goats here, but we can't put on the sign "kids for sale" because we're get arrested. So
yeah, that was a good PR.
Like good choice from the like agency. But man, would that have been funny if they hadn't realized that? Like, could you imagine if they were like, "We have baby goats," and someone was like,
on one of those,
"They're
like,
called
Twitter accounts.
kids."
It would be on one of those Twitter accounts that are like
Out of context.
You had one
like,
job or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But oh man, I would love to just see like a animal shelter "kids for sale" sign. I think it would be so funny.
I mean, the premise of kids being for sale isn't funny.
No, it's not. But the fact
we want to.
It's funnier because it's from an animal shelter.
Yes, it's just the miscommunication. Yeah.
Yes, I do not think that human trafficking is funny. Grant,
it's not
thank
funny.
you for clarifying.
Not a laughing matter.
It isn't. But the miscommunication of goats also being called kids, now that's funny.
It just keeps going. Lydia.
We do not condone kidnapping of children. Goats, though.
Okay, I think we've done enough here.
Hear me out, though. Hear me out. No.
Stop.
Go on. Drew's like, I should not have joined.
Oh gosh.
And I'm not talking about this episode. I'm talking about like the Paper Dungeon in general. Drew's like, I should not have.
Camp Cryptids rocks. And we all had really high hopes for the show too. And so I felt like there was a lot at stake. Like when I was recording, which is strange. You know, you have nerves for like anything, but the fact that this is kind of, it was like an abnormal thing for us to try, honestly. Yeah. And Lydia totally spearheaded the whole operation.
Oh, Lydia knocked it out of the park.
She came up with the idea.
Made a whole system for it.
She made a system. She made the art. She basically built it from scratch.
This was like pretty much 100% Lydia's project that we just got to tag along for.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And so it was a little out of our norm because we're pretty much other than a few one-shots, we've pretty much only done like a more serious drama-esque things. And so doing a short form, like pre-recorded thing that's not quite that, and it's more like fun and some goofiness, a bit of mystery, you know. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Get ready for it to get super dark around episode 3. People are dying. No, I'm not gonna say it. I mean, I gotcha. Get catch 22'd.
But you know, it was a lot of fun, and I think it's just another chance to kind of stretch our abilities and challenge ourselves, which we want to continue to do, especially with short series. Why are you smirking like that?
Who, me?
Yeah, is it because Lydia said the heck, Aaron?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it was just going out of our comfort zones a bit and trying something new. And I am very optimistic. I think that it's going to turn out well. The audience have already loved it. And I'm excited for the whole thing to be out, you know?
Yep. My character also dies in this show. Every show from now on, I'm going to have a character die.
Don't listen to him, guys. Don't listen to a thing he says.
I'm a filthy liar. I'm allowed to lie. It's my birthday. That's how birthdays work.
It is Aaron's birthday. Tell us about that, man. Tell us about how old you are.
I'm 23, and the only birthday party I've ever been to on my birthday was someone else's.
Wait, this can be your birthday party, and it's your party.
No, it isn't. This is my job.
Drew,
this is my job that I don't even get paid for. God.
Eventually, Aaron. Eventually.
One day. But hey, you people in the chat could help with that.
Are you really using your birthday as a call to action right now?
You could sponsor your Dungeoneer.
For only $5 a month.
How dare you? You know, I'm gonna
help
start
this poor, lonely 23-year-old
right
punk. that
just for
just
you.
needs some love.
For your birthday, I'm starting the sub goal.
There's a
It's
deep
3 subs away.
there's
With your Amazon Prime, you could have a free subscription. You know
there's
what?
a deep sadness contained within his massive frame.
You know what? I have Prime.
Have you
I
not subscribed to us, Grant?
I recently got it, okay? And I've been waiting for a time we're live to try and redeem it, but I'm already a sub, so I don't even know if it'll work.
You'd have to undo it and then redo.
Oh gosh. Sounds kind of intense. You guys can keep going while
I don't know. I'm having a blast listening to your type.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
That's the only gift I've ever needed.
Keyboard, Oh, and he muted himself.
Wow. Okay, I was gonna bring up something because I got a gift for my birthday, but I don't think I even have it down here. So I've recently started, like picking back up with physical art instead of digital, which is something that I actually feel much more comfortable with. So I was actually with Grant. When I picked up, like, I got a new notebook, I got some new pencils, but then I realized that I didn't have anything to carry it in. So I was just carrying around a Hobby Lobby bag that was like torn with a notebook and some pencils. And I got a super cool like leather satchel that I'm super excited about. It like fits perfectly the notebook and everything. Like I got some new pencils. I have never used, those like soft erasers. Also, thank you, Hanskate, for the donations, bringing us over our sub goal.
Oh my gosh, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hans. That's so generous.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me
Aaron, not me.
The greatest birthday gift I could ask for, your support. Because here at the Paper Dungeon, it's about you. Anyway, so more about me.
Anyway, Hallmark Braid, trailer aside.
Yes. But yeah, I got a super cool like leather, and it's like actual leather, which is rad. Yes. Oh yeah, the soft the kneaded erasers, the like that like are moldable and stuff like that. I've never actually used them for art. Game changer. Holy cow. Like what? I don't know if any of you have ever seen the use of a kneaded eraser with like charcoal art. They're so rad. Like they just work.
Aaron gave me a little demonstration. He had like the super dark shaded area. He like took the tiniest little sliver of this little putty eraser, just like dabbed the page once and lifted, and the page was like white.
It was like gone.
It's weird, honestly. It
like
doesn't seem realistic. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, guys.
Thanks, Grant.
See ya.
Yeah, no. So like I also hated kneaded erasers for a super long time. But that's because I was not doing like actual like art with charcoal pencils. They make my life so much easier cuz like now I can accurately like lighten areas that I messed up instead of like trying to like figure out where the point of an actual eraser is that'll just smear stuff. My life changed forever on that day. Yeah, so that's what I got for my birthday. I got a cool leather bag, some pencils, and some erasers.
Nice, dude. That's it.
Huh?
Oh, that's really cool. It's real cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Although you talking about that like in art and stuff makes me kind of think to myself, it wouldn't be a bad summer project for me to try and get back into it, because I'm with you, Aaron. I really wish I could draw like as good as Lydia.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. So I'm gonna bring this up. I've said it many times before. Lydia, absolutely incredible artist, and this actually has nothing to do with anything that you said, but I think that it is very important to I'm sorry. I was just reading the chat and it threw me. But it's really important to distinguish the difference between talent and skill, because I see so many like incredible artists on like TikTok and YouTube and stuff, Twitter, that'll do like these incredible pieces of art, and then people are like, "Oh my god, you're so talented." That's a lie. Now
No,
they
they're
are
not
probably
talented.
talented, but what it actually is years and years of skill, most likely,
Yeah,
that they have accumulated over time.
yeah, 100%.
Like talent is your starting point, in my opinion. It is your natural affinity for it and your understanding of how things work. Like my brother, he's an architect. He has always just kind of naturally understood how to like measure doorways and figure out how like weight bearing systems work. That's just like a thing that he understands. But his actual skill in architecture comes from the years in like college and after college and before college, learning how to like actually put those things that he naturally understands into being, and like
Yeah,
how to render them and stuff like that. And so it really irritates me when people are like, "Oh my god, so and so is so talented."
yeah, 100%.
Absolute baloney that really kind of discredits their actual capabilities.
Right. Yeah, because it's not just about talent. It's about the
Mm-hmm.
fact that they invested tons of time into honing a skill, which I wish I could do. I want to do. I want to be. I
Mm-hmm.
want to get to that point myself.
Yeah.
This like ideal world for me. I can spend time making art, making music, and playing D&D.
And I don't know what Grant is doing. He may be making his bed. It's hard to
I'm
know.
making my bed.
He's making his bed.
Thank you, Grant.
Yeah.
Thank you for providing us with this content.
But I've been trying recently to um like get better at digital art, because it's a lot more transformable, it's a lot more movable and like showable. Like I can't take something that I draw on paper and then just put it on the internet as a
Right.
one to one.
Right.
Plus my camera sucks. Hopefully I'll deal with that in the coming days, but my camera is really bad. But I just can't do digital art. Like it just doesn't click with me as well. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can manage it. I've pulled off some pretty okay things, but the best digital art that I've made, I first make on paper,
Right. It's just a tracing.
and then I just like trace it over, and then I'll change a lot of things for it, because I can make like solid shadows a lot easier with digital than I can with like paper and pencil. Um, I don't ask questions as for what Grant does. Oh no.
I just gave my cat a treat.
Oh okay. Um,
2 treats.
so I was eventually just like, I have a lot of trouble sitting down and just doing digital art because it just doesn't click with me. Like I can sit down and draw for like hours at a time if it's on paper. So I'm going to invest more of my time into paper and pencil stuff, and then the stuff that is good enough or fits well with a digital, I will draw on paper and then transfer over.
Yeah.
So that way it's just more consumable. Because originally I was like, I should just focus on learning fully how to do digital stuff, kind of threw aside like paper and pencil. But like I have a lot of fun doing it. It makes sense to me. I've never used like actual charcoal pencils before, so that's wild. Like I'm like, oh my goodness, I can do so much more stuff, and it looks the way that I want it to look, and things like that. So I'm excited to learn how to do it better. And now that I have an actual ability to be portable with it, hopefully I will actually use it more. Yeah, so I'm excited. I would love to get to the point where I could like draw good fan art for the show.
Thank you for the sub.
Yeah, thanks for the
Let's
sub.
not.
That's a lot of
Hey, Aaron, is it time for me to
elves?
go over there and give you 23 birthday spankings on
Let's not,
stream?
dog. You show up at my house and you are getting suplexed into a lower story.
Unless
You're gonna show
You're in
up
the basement.
5'7" and
You're in
leave
the
4'2".
basement.
See,
How about 23 birthday french fries?
I was gonna say, if you bring
Dog,
Aaron,
if you want to bring me food, I'm not gonna stop you.
Then I can't be here.
You just leave the camera
Drew,
on.
go ahead. Go ahead. Just
Just-
ignore us, Drew. Just say what you need to say, man. Say what you need to say.
no, I'm just laughing at the dynamic that is the two of you.
I should say, as a disclaimer, I'm actually not a naturally violent person, but my go-to
No.
statement towards Grant is physical threats of violence.
Don't- yeah, I don't know if that sounds much better, but I can attest to
We
that.
are very good friends, and that is how we communicate.
If you guys finish streaming, but stay on call, invite me for a little bit. I want to see you all.
That's
really
an
sweet, Lydia.
excellent lead-in, Lydia. We have been going for 2 hours and 9 minutes.
Oh no, I feel like we need to talk about something with some substance before we.
What do you mean? What haven't we talked about with
Hi,
substance?
let's not. Thanks for the gifted sub. That's
Let's
so kind
not.
of you. Just
That's how
jumping
it's
in.
got to be pronounced, right?
I mean,
Let's not.
Aaron made D&D characters. We talked about
D&D
Star
characters.
Wars.
We
Talked
talked
about
about
Star
Star Wars.
Wars,
We
talked
talked
about
about
the
Camp
main show.
Cryptid. Pretty in depth too. We talked about.
So
Camp
yeah, I think that we've done stuff. I've talked about my art stuff. I'll have to do a did I watch Achievement Hunter? Yes, I watch Achievement Hunter. What do you? I'm not an idiot.
How did you pronounce it, Aaron? Apparently you're the first
Let's
person-
not.
That's awesome.
Although I can't do the correct voice because I'm not Ray. But, and actually, this is a bold claim. I think that Funhouse is a superior show.
Can we raid somebody today?
I mean, yeah, if you have the option or you have an idea of who to raid and stuff, that would be great.
I'm gonna just real quick. I'm just gonna browse D&D.
My humor, like my comedic essence, has been endlessly influenced by Bruce Green and James from Funhouse. Those are like some of my favorite like comedy creators that are out there. I will legitimately sometimes just use like almost direct quotes and jokes from them, which is God, they're so funny. If you guys don't know what Funhouse is or who those are,
You have it ready, Grant.
I have it ready.
Skyra's doing Gavin noises.
All right. Oh, also happy Pride Month, everybody. Yes, I see that. This is LGBTQIA plus, and it's a safe space. So this person does in fact celebrate Pride Month.
Nice. Yes,
They're
I
doing
did
art right
remember
now.
to say Happy Pride Month.
Taz the DM. High five.
Okay, so how do I do this again?
Aaron doesn't do that like Lydia does. No,
Okay.
I already have it ready.
Oh,
I
you've
just have
got
to
it
click the
ready?
button. Yep.
In
Everybody,
that
if you could
case,
stick around for the raid. That would
yes,
be super great.
do the
Refresh
raid.
your page when you get there.
What emote should
GD
they
raid.
use?
Use the probably not the boggle, huh?
No, please not bother.
Maybe D20 emotes.
I'm down with the D20 or the corn. I'm down with
Or
with
corn,
Lydia
corn is
Corn.
I-
Or
I-
if you
I
want
can
to
click
do,
the button. Just give me the,
hey, if you want, Feral Track is also an option. I think that's a pretty good raid emote.
That's a good one. All right.
But it's
I
been a
clicked start
blast, you
raid.
guys. The only thing
Hey.
that I have left to say is good luck and Godspeed. We will see you next time, Dungeoneers. Thanks for stopping by. It's been super fun.
Right now. Okay, be
Woo!
sure to end the stream. We're good.
I can end stream now?
Yep.